Hello, Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos, and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Quite often you can find reruns at other times. You can also go online, go to the Georgetown website, and click on the cable TV logo, and you can find us there too. So find us wherever you can. Now, if you'd like to become part of the show, if you would like to come down, we've got great equipment here. We'll teach you how to use it. You don't need to know what you're doing before you come in, and you don't need your own equipment. So if you'd like to join us, let us know. And if you would like to be in the hot seat, let me know. I'm always looking for people from town to talk to. Now, today we're talking to Steve Nazzaro and Joseph D'Angelo, and they're from PartnersRehab. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie.
Now, Steve, you're the physical therapist.
Yes.
And the Georgetown clinic supervisor.
Correct.
Okay, because PartnersRehab has 3 locations.
Correct.
Right. What are the other 2?
We have one down in Saugus on Route 1 North and over in Methuen on Route 110.
Okay. So the Georgetown one is why we're talking about it here.
Yeah.
And Joseph, you're the business development associate.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, where are you from?
I live right here in Georgetown.
And you have family here?
I do. I have my wife of 11 years now and my 2 children, Cooper and Reese. Cooper is in the 3rd grade and Reese is in kindergarten. So we've been in town 11 years, and I've been working here in town for about 9 years.
I quite often ask this question, why did you choose Georgetown?
Well, we were just getting married, and we tried to find a house that we could afford in an area that we were kind of, looking ahead. Where would we like to raise children? And I think we hit the jackpot with Georgetown. We love it. It's a very close-knit community, great people we've met here, and I think it's a great place to raise kids.
It is. Quite often people that I interview have lived there all their life. I've been here most of mine. Leave town, and then it's, I'm going to have a family. Where do I want to bring my family up? And they come back to Georgetown. Now, where are you from, Joseph?
I live in south of Boston, Dorchester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I make it quite the trip to come up here to Georgetown, but it's well worth it. It's a great town.
It is. It is. It's a lot of fun. What made you want to become a physical therapist?
I was a mischievous boy. I was.
That doesn't surprise me.
I had my fair share of injuries, and during my own injuries, at times I had to see a physical therapist, and just thought that as a kid and as a teenager, this just looks like a cool job. This just looks like there would be a lot of fun, interacting with the people, helping people is always great, and just kind of stuck with it. I thought I wanted to do it, tried it out in college, and realized that I made the right choice.
It's funny because my daughter was going to be a physical therapist, and the reason she chose that was one of her best friends broke a leg or something, and she had to go to physical therapy, and it was pretty cool how they made her all better. Jennifer ended up going and taking her degree and going back for another master's in teaching. Mm-hmm. So, now, what kind of education do you have to become a physical therapist?
It's changed quite a bit over the last 10 years. When I was in school, I went through a 5-year program and I received a bachelor's degree. It had subsequently has gone on to requiring a master's degree, and now most programs require a doctorate. So most of these people entering a PT program now in college are probably going between 6 and 7 years of college, and a lot of programs make it a mandatory doctorate.
Really?
Yes. So a lot of school, even more than it ever was.
Because basically you need to know every muscle, tendon, ligament, bone, just like a doctor would,
Everything.
just like a physician.
Mm-hmm. Everything, yes. Mm-hmm. Head to toe.
Okay. That's a lot of school.
It's a lot of school, a lot of studying.
It's a lot of muscles.
A lot of bones. There's lots of them in the hand, I understand.
Yes, I've heard that.
Seeing as that's what was broken this year. So, what type of insurances for most physical therapy, but your company in particular, does insurance cover all of these things?
It depends on the individual. We do take pretty much most insurances, all the Mass Health products, all the Medicare products, but it depends on the individual's needs. It depends on the case as well. If it's a workman's comp case, if it's motor vehicle accidents, it all depends on what their coverage is. But we are willing to take, pretty much every insurance product that is out there.
Now, how do people get into physical therapy?
Most of the time it's through doctor's referral. That's probably
And that's why the insurance would cover it.
Correct. That's the most common way that people find their way to us. They go see their physician, they have some issue or problem. The physician would determine if that person is appropriate for or needs physical therapy, sends them over to us.
Okay.
And then we pick it up from there.
You said Medicare, so we're looking at all different ages. What is the age range that you generally deal with?
I've seen them from 6 years old to 99 years old in the clinic.
Really?
It's a very, very broad spectrum.
The youngest patient I've seen in all 3 of our clinics has been probably about 3 years old.
Why would a 3-year-old be in for physical therapy?
You want them to heal the right way from the start.
Okay, so
You know?
kid falls and breaks their arm or their
Right.
leg or...
Right, usually it's orthopedic-based injuries is what we mostly see.
Okay, all right. When I was talking to Caroline, she said there's quite often you see a lot of backpack problems. The backpack's too heavy and the kids all of a sudden have problems and...
Yep, and that's
Slouching.
the typical teenage posture.
That's an attitude, not a posture.
It's both, yes.
It's both.
Yeah.
I can't change the attitude. The posture I can work with. The attitude.
So what types of conditions send people to physical therapy? I broke my wrist, so that's why I was there.
In our clinic, we're very orthopedic based. We see basically from the neck down to the toes. I'll see shoulders, hips, knees, backs, necks, ankles, you name it, whether it be just a simple injury, chronic musculoskeletal problem, post-surgical, and sometimes it's just, someone's had that nagging, aching pain that they're tired of dealing with and want to know if they can finally do something about it. We come in and, we try to help them address that.
Is it one of those, I'm thinking people with back issues, you get tired of having the shots and things like that. Does physical therapy help with that in that if you build up the right muscles, it helps support the back better with less pain?
Yes, we kind of would almost work in conjunction with the injection. Sometimes the injection gets you over that hump, so now you're feeling a little better, you can move a little better. I can get a lot more out of my physical therapy now that I'm not in quite as much pain to do these things. Sometimes people totally avoid those injections with physical therapy. They might see us first, realize, I really don't want to go that invasive route. I really don't like the idea of someone sticking a needle in my back. If I could...
Especially with what's going on now.
Yeah, that's
Right.
kind of, it's in the news, it's in front of people, so they're very wary about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what type of equipment do you have there?
A lot of weight machines we have in there, a lot of free weights. Some of the exercises we do with people don't require any equipment at all. You might just be using your own body weight. You might just be using cueing just to kind of fire certain muscles that people didn't even realize they had or should be using during certain situations. We have leg machines, a hip machine, we have a lat pull down machine, a couple of pulley systems that we use for different people.
Treadmill?
Yep, treadmill, 2 bicycles, physio balls. We have some weighted dowels and dumbbell weights.
Okay, so there's a lot of equipment in there.
There is, yeah. It's a pretty wide open space.
And but it's a huge place.
Yes, it's pretty wide open. We have a lot of floor space, which makes it good for, we have patient population that might require some agility training. We might have them skip, hop, jump, some quick change of directions. Depending on
Could I do that?
depending on what they need. Each client's a little different, so we kind of cater their program to what they need and what they say their goals are. If they want to get back to playing tennis, well, we need to get them doing something tennis-like. If their goal is I'd like to just, go for a walk without a lot of pain, they, require a little kind of a toned down program. So
Can you improve my golf game?
if I could do that, I would have a tremendous line outside my door if I could guarantee that. But I don't golf myself, so I can't lay claim to that.
Okay, now, what would a patient expect on the first visit, which is very different than the rest of the visits?
Yes, first visit's an evaluation. Patient comes in and we'll discuss their problem. Why are you here? What is your issue? Talk to them, figure out at that point where their pain is. What do they feel it could be coming from? When do they notice it most? And also, what do they want to get back to? So this way, whatever program I develop for them, I can make sure that I'm meeting their needs and their goals. Because obviously, most people don't come in and say, well, I feel I'm a little weak here and I could be better balanced in that area. They come in because I'm in pain. It hurts and I want to get rid of that. So, okay, well, when does it hurt? That's what I need to know so I can figure out that I will have them do what's appropriate for them to eliminate that pain. At that point, we kind of take all of our measurements, our strength, our range of motion. There might be other special tests I might incorporate to try to get as specific a diagnosis as I can for them. And then based on that, I would develop their exercise program. When they come in for the evaluation, pretty much 99% of the people come in and they will get something to work on that first day. Because what they do at home is just as important, if not a little more important than what they do in the clinic. They may be in the clinic only 2 to 3 times a week. They're home every day. They can't just come in and devote 2 1-hour sessions and the rest of the week slip into all their bad habits. They have to be a little bit responsible and do some work at home, and I'll make sure I give them things to address that.
Not always easy things.
No, not always, but hopefully effective.
Yes, they were. I actually went out and bought weights so that I could do the exercises at home.
See, you
They
were
sit
motivated.
Right on the table.
Yep, you
Well, I
realize
need to be able to use it, so.
You realize the benefit.
It does. What makes your style of physical therapy, your style of clinic, different than some of the others?
Well, PartnersRehab, I think we give more of a personal attention to our patients. We give them the individual tailored treatment plans that they need based on each individual's needs. One patient might have a rotator cuff that another patient might have different needs that has a similar problem. People heal differently. People ache differently. So we'll take them in and we'll give them the one-on-one attention that they need to make sure that they're getting the treatment that's right for their case. We're very, very friendly, very family-oriented. As you can see, Steve's got his family in town, and we like to keep it in town and tailor to the North Shores community that our 3 clinics are around.
I also worked with Caroline a lot, and
yes,
you walk in and it's a familiar face.
Yeah,
Caroline. Good morning. And what did you do this weekend? And as she's working, and
I've been in the clinic since May of '04, and Caroline's been there with me June of '04. So she and I have been together for about 9.5 years. I think we make a great team. We work very well together, and we've both been there long term. So we've seen many repeat customers come in, and it's it's great to see that familiar person, and it kind of gives us some satisfaction knowing that they were here once, and obviously they felt like they were treated appropriately and came back again to visit us.
When I came back in this time for my first visit for the clinic,
yes,
you looked at me and you said, "You can run, but you can't hide. Yep. You're always going to come back."
Yep.
Which I do every time.
That's right. People usually find their way back in, which is a good thing for us.
Now, how and why is physical therapy better than medication, let's say, pain medication? If it hurts, just take a pill.
Sometimes the pill can just mask the symptoms. Hopefully with PT we kind of address the root and cause of the problem, not the symptom. And I'll say that to people, what you're doing may not feel great and comfortable right now. Hopefully long term this is going to help you. I'll use my old saying I say to people, physical therapy is a process, not an event. You're not going to come in here and I'm going to do something to you instantly. You're going to stand up, proclaim yourself to be healed, and walk out the door pain-free.
Yeah.
Not usually how physical therapy works. Sometimes the pain medication can be very beneficial for people. Some people just need that extra little push, help get them over the hump, and maybe that pain medication might help them get more out of their physical therapy. So, but sometimes pain medication, people may think it may just mask the pain and cover it up temporarily. Again, hopefully, with what I do, we can really address the root and cause of it and, eliminate it completely.
You don't want just a quick fix.
Yeah, there is no quick fix when it comes to
Right.
muscles and bones and things like that.
Exactly.
When something happens now, 20 years down the road, you're going to pay for it if you don't take care of it correctly.
Right.
The one thing my doctor did tell me, he said, the first couple of times you go for physical therapy, take one of the pain meds before you go.
Because you'll
So-
hopefully...
right, when they're stretching and moving,
Yep.
and so that it actually
Steve
works a
will
little
work
better.
you out. He'll stretch you. He'll find out where your pain is.
Not always comfortable initially, but I always tell people, think long term.
Yeah.
Short-term sacrifice.
Now, do you specifically have communication with the physicians?
Yes. After your initial evaluation, your referring doctor, whether that be your primary care or your orthopedic or neurosurgeon, will receive a copy of your evaluation from us. We'll send them a copy of the evaluation with all of your measurements, a copy of the treatment plan. This is now my plan for the patient you sent to me. These are the things I will be doing with them. Usually the doctors will just kind of sign off on that, send it back to us, and kind of okay the plan. And then we will do periodic updates where we may remeasure you, very similar to what we did on the first day, just to compare progress. Are we making the gains that we hope to make? Are we meeting the goals that we've set at the beginning? And hopefully the answer to those questions are yes. If they're not, well, then we need to maybe change paths possibly. Maybe I, wasn't right on the mark like I should have been that first day. Maybe I need to reevaluate my plan. And that's, for both of those reasons, we will kind of do those periodic measurements just to make sure that everybody's on the path that we feel that they should be on.
Now, when the doctor sends the referral, does he give you a basic, what he's looking for?
Yes, usually he'll give us a diagnosis and he might make some suggestions on that referral. please include X, Y, or Z. If they're appropriate, I try to incorporate those things. Sometimes I feel like, well, the patient may have limited time in the clinic. I want to try to do the things that will really give us the most bang for our buck during the time the patient's in the clinic. So I may feel that something else may be warranted, and as long as I include that in my initial treatment program, send it off to the doctor, we're okay with that.
Okay, so there is a lot of communication back and forth.
Yes, very much so.
And you send an end report as well?
Yes, there's also a discharge summary in which we kind of sum up your progress and everything that you've done, and hopefully everything is
She's done?
Exactly as the textbook says it should be. Those numbers are right on mark, and everyone's feeling good.
See you the next time.
See you the next time.
Now, what type of follow-up do you do after physical therapy treatments?
Everybody gets a home exercise program. Everyone that finishes up with us, we try to give them something to say. Now that you're done here, coming into our clinic, a couple times a week, maybe the job is not completed 100%. You may be feeling about 75, 80%, but you feel like the person is at the point where I think I can manage this on my own. I think I know what to do. I think I have some good tools that I can now implement to continue to help myself and keep the ball rolling in the right direction. So that's very important for a lot of people, that you may not get complete resolution of your symptoms while you're in PT, but hopefully we've given you the right tools to now use, so this way you can continue and make progress at home.
Bones, not necessarily muscles, tendons, they don't mend in a period of a few weeks.
No.
They take longer.
Yes, which is why follow up afterwards. And there's some area gyms that people could look into, depending on, people say, what's the best gym to go to? I said, the gym that you'll go to.
Okay.
Wherever you remember.
Yeah, you can join anywhere, but if you're going to show up or not.
That's correct. Yep.
Right.
Make it convenient. It's got to be convenient and easy to get there, or else you'll have a tendency not to follow through.
Yeah, because an awful lot of people have memberships in the drawer someplace. And they've shown up there 3 times. And
yep, and they'll take it out of your checking account every month.
Yep.
One way or the other.
Right.
Now, what got you involved with this type of business?
I was in a different industry that I wasn't feeling I was going anywhere. And this is a family company for myself. My family has started the company 15 years ago, and it's something that I kind of always wanted to venture into a little bit. It always interested me when my father, he started the outpatient clinic 15 years ago. He started as an in-home care 15 years ago. I started Georgetown 8 years ago with the outpatient clinic. And for me to see him do that, start up his own company, was, it was very inspiring to see him doing this. And it made me figure that if I can get an education, if I can go in and get, the knowledge that I need to run my own company, then maybe somewhere down the road, I would be able to fit into this. Right now, what made me get into it is I love marketing and advertising, promoting the company. I love working with people. It's something that keeps me, driven every day to go in there and work and know that I'm affecting our business outcome. What I could do to bring more business into our clinics is something that drives me to get up there every day. And excuse me. And I started in March this past year, and it's been great since. It's good to get out there and interact with the towns, going into different health fairs, coming on shows like yours, and letting people know that we're in the area.
When I first, actually when they put the cast on, they said you have to start looking for physical therapy as soon as the cast comes off. And they had a sheet of paper, and it had lots of choices. Mm-hmm. And I think the first time I ever came to your clinic, I did it because I had been to some others. But the drive, by the time you tried to get through Bradford, and it was all under construction, and I said, why don't I just try Georgetown, see if that works? And it's perfect. You get your physical therapy, get your Dunkin' Donuts, because you're in the same plaza.
Yep.
You're right at the Dunkin' Donuts plaza, and you can take off and go to work.
That's just it. It's convenience. The convenience part is important. I'd say the majority of our patients are from Georgetown or one of the neighboring bordering towns. And they all say it's so great to have you guys here. It's just so easy. I don't have to get on the highway or drive north or drive further south to get someplace.
And it is friendly. I mean, for the few weeks that I was going there, I saw one of the previous selectmen, somebody I used to ski with. I saw at least 6 or 7 people that I knew. A couple of store owners from here in Georgetown.
Yep, a lot of people right here in town, like I said, come in because we're close and convenient, and it's nice to have the repeat people, not to see them injured, but again, it makes us feel like, gee, we did a good job for them the first time. They, good enough that they came back and went with us again. So.
And there's always a lot of conversation. So, you know, whatever's going on in town, for me, it's always town meeting. So, what's going on with town meeting? And of course, we had hurricanes and all kinds of things. So
We try to keep it light, try to keep it friendly, you know. It's a good atmosphere.
It is. It's when I get done, I said, I'm going to miss this 3 more days a week. What am I going to do?
Social hour.
Yeah, it is. It's like a social hour. Now, what's the best part of it for you, dealing with these patients?
The satisfaction of, you know, I'm doing something good every day. I'm doing something productive. You know, it's nice for me, you know, personally that I like I said, I live in town. I have a family in the town, and just to see people, I've met so many people in town that I ordinarily would never have had the chance to meet had I not been working right here in town in the clinic. And you know, you see these people for a period of weeks. You kind of get to know them personally. You hear about their families. I'll hear stories about their children, and then if you run into them, you know, either at the supermarket or at the ball field, you know,
or at the Halloween parade at Pearly School,
something like that too. Yes, and, you know,
when Grandma goes to watch the kids.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that, you know, it's that kind of homey feel. You know, it's again, back to one of the original questions that we spoke of today. You know, why'd you choose Georgetown? Because it's just a great small town, and it's got that real, you know, comfortable feel. And you know, it's I was hesitant at first, kind of living and working in the same town, but I don't regret it at all now. It was a great choice for me to start there.
And where did you come from before Georgetown? Large city?
I came from Revere. Yes,
okay.
I grew up in Revere.
All right, so you went from large city to small town.
Yes, it took me. It was a little bit of an adjustment, kind of getting used to the quiet. I thought it was too quiet, but then, as you know, I slowly realized there's no such thing as too quiet. So.
And you can't run down to the local whatever store. You know, there isn't a Target around the corner.
Nope. Nope, there is not. That's okay.
Johnny's across the street.
Yeah, it's Johnny's across the street, and that's about it. And Dunkin' Donuts next door.
That's all you need.
It is. It is. It's a great little town. For your perspective, what's the best part of having the clinic here in Georgetown?
Definitely not my commute from the south side of Boston. From being up here, it allows us to stretch into an area of Massachusetts that really doesn't have this type of healthcare, provider. You know, there's a lot of people around this area, you know, around Georgetown, Boxford, Topsfield, Rowley, you know, even up to Newburyport, Amesbury, that we can extend out to. You know, Georgetown, as you guys see from living here, is very widely spread out. You know, it's not like where I'm from, where the houses are right on top of each other. But with that, you know, there's a large population out there that we were able to target out to and help. You know, and ultimately that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that people up here are staying active, are being seen by, you know, physical therapists that are well trained and well knowledge, which we have a great staff. And you know, for them to be able to reach out into this community, it's great, because otherwise people around here would have to travel, you know, too far to go for PT. Like you said, if you were going over to Bradford, you'd much rather stay here in Georgetown, you know, and it's good to be able to see that, you know, that we're helping out the community.
And it's nice to get to know the people that were working there and see you on the street or see you at town meeting or things like that. That's why Georgetown is here. Have we covered everything?
I think so.
I think we did. I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you. I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Don't forget, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.
Many foods contain a lot more salt than you think. Too much salt can lead to high blood pressure, heart attack, and stroke. Compare labels. Choose less sodium.